My wife Jessica failed to satisfy me in bed whenever we had sex. I was hoping she'd give me more, like maybe take me by her mouth, or maybe she'd climb and sit on top of me and moan more seductively. But unfortunately, she's like a dead fish in bed. Most of the time when I was inside her, she just fell asleep. And that really ruined my mood. So, guess what? I had to stop and go to sleep. One evening, my wife had to go to her parents' house to help them with some housework. So, that evening, I decided to go to a bar to look for some fun or maybe look at some pretty girls. As soon as I walked into the bar, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. The dimly lit room and the pounding music helped to drown out my thoughts of my lackluster marriage. It had been weeks since I had felt satisfied in bed, and tonight, I had decided to take matters into my own hands. I ordered a drink and sat down at a table in the corner, hoping to drown my sorrows in alcohol. But before I could even take a sip, I felt a presence beside me. Two stunning young women had approached me, their eyes flirtatious and their smiles inviting. "Hey there," one of the women said, her voice sultry. "Mind if we join you?" I felt my heart race as I nodded, gesturing for them to take a seat. The women introduced themselves as Alice and Emma, and I couldn't believe my luck. They were both beautiful, with long, flowing hair and curves in all the right places. As the night went on, the conversation flowed easily between us. I laughed and joked with Alice and Emma, feeling a spark of excitement I hadn't felt in years. When the bar closed and the women suggested going back to my place, I didn't hesitate to agree. Once they were at my house, things quickly escalated. Alice and Emma didn't waste any time in making their intentions clear. They undressed each other slowly, their hands trailing over each other's bodies as I watched, feeling a sense of anticipation building inside me. Alice and Emma kisses each other on their lips seductively. Then Emma looked at me and said, "Come join us, handsome, why wait?" Her voice seductive. Before I knew it, we were all tangled in the bedsheets, our bodies moving together in a rhythm that felt both familiar and exhilarating. Alice knelt in front of me and took me in her mouth, sending shivers of pleasure down my spine. Emma straddled me, her movements slow and deliberate as we moved together in perfect harmony. Without thinking, I undressed myself and put my manhood inside her. After I was satisfied with Emma, I pulled Alice closer to me and I put my manhood inside her. Both women moans were better than Jessica's. I was not myself that night. How could this be happening? Two strangers were even better than my wife. I wondered. I felt a surge of pleasure unlike anything I had ever experienced before. I was lost in the moment, my mind consumed by the feel of Alice and Emma's bodies against my own. And when I finally reached my climax, I knew I had found a satisfaction I had been craving for so long. Afterwards, we fell asleep, my body spent but my mind content. When I woke up the next morning, Alice and Emma were gone, leaving behind only a sense of fulfillment that I had never felt with my wife. When my wife came home later that day, I tried to act normal, to hide the guilt that gnawed at me from the inside out. But it was no use. My wife, Jessica, looked at me with eyes that saw through my facade, that knew the truth of what had happened. It was unexpected that my neighbors saw the two women leaving with their clothes and hair messy. My neighbors told Jessica everything, what they heard and saw. Unfortunately, Alice left her bra and some of her belongings on our bed. She must have forgotten it. My wife saw our messy bed, and her facial expression changed from calm to upset. "You cheated on me, didn't you?" she said, her voice calm but laced with a hint of sadness. I felt my stomach drop as I nodded, unable to meet her gaze. I had betrayed the woman I had promised to love and cherish, and now I was paying the price for my actions. Jessica filed for divorce soon after, leaving me to face the consequences of my infidelity alone. As I sat in my empty house, surrounded by the remnants of a life that had fallen apart, I couldn't help but wonder if the fleeting moment of pleasure had been worth the destruction it had caused. And as I looked at the empty space beside me where Jessica used to sleep, I knew the answer was no. I had lost the one person who had truly loved me, all for a night of passion that had left me more empty than before. For in the end, I knew that true happiness could never be found in the arms of strangers, but only in the forgiving heart of the one who had always been there for me, through thick and thin.